All right, welcome back to Launch Your Light. This is our favorite time of month. We're here with Ineza. We're going to break down what in the world is going on energetically on the planet. Hopefully, the stars have some answers for us. Hopefully, the planets can tell us what's up because people are feeling it. People are feeling it. Not everyone's feeling it. Some people are having a good time. But I have heard a lot of stories in this last few weeks and months, and there's some themes happening. So I brought that to Ineza today, and she's feeling it too. So welcome to the show, Ineza.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to connect again. Now we are in a good times together, and we are in times when it's a little bit challenging, and while we're learning. Those are I think those are also lessons. We are just learning here. Like that's when we were speaking about like what we're both going through, and sometimes when I zoom out and I remember, okay, I'm here to learn, and this is not all of it. Like this moment in time is not all of it. Like I've been through worse. Most of the times we can say that I've been through worse. I know how to deal with this. I know the process, and it will be different every time. But it doesn't take away the grief, the pain, like the terror that you said, like at 5 a.m. in the morning when you can't stop, like when the rug is pulled. So do you want to share a little bit more so people maybe
Yeah,
will relate to some of the like kind of maybe whatever you want?
basically, I'm in what I've experienced in the last month, let's say, is a new high and now a new low. That's the best way that I can explain it. We
Yeah.
have, and what I like to teach, Inez knows this over the years of hearing from me, I teach in expansion and contraction. And there's more to that dynamic, but just for the ease of today's call, expansion and contraction. And this is what we need in growth, right? This is what we need in evolution. We need that new limit, a new high, a
Yeah.
new low, a new in, a new out, right? And that's how we break past those barriers that we are stuck at or comfortable in or whatever you want to call it, right? And so what we were experiencing was like a few weeks ago, like new levels of manifestation, new levels of magic, new levels of miracles, like just aligned, falling into our lap, gifted to us, like just in awe. Like we didn't even know how to share it or talk about it, like just in awe. I kept it very, very quiet and private with either friends, family, or my community. And then after a few weeks of that, it took a turn, went south, and I'm still in it, like just experiencing new lows, things coming out of skeletons out of the closet, stuff we thought we addressed 7 years ago, 5 years ago, not being resolved, blocking everything we wanted, everything that we saw is now being pulled out from us, almost like dangled in front of us and stripped from us. And while we're also at the same time as that dealing with another parent loss. I just lost my stepdad who raised me for 25 years. Yeah. So new highs, new lows. And it's one of those like I haven't felt this in a while, but like when you wake up and you wish you were still asleep because in the sleep land, you're not in the reality of what's
Yeah.
happening. And I'm like, fuck, I haven't felt this since like my mom died. Um, so yeah, here I am again, similar patterns, miscarriage to parent death to loss of a dream house 2 times now in 6 years, 7 years. And it's like worse this time for some reason. Oh, well, no, not like losing my mother was obviously the worst, but you know what I mean? I'm like, wow, here we are again. What the actual fuck? So I'm just in it. I'm not pretending I'm not in it. I'm showing up authentically with my community, and that's a big part of
Yeah.
Daydream. We're not just gathering in our greatness, ladies. We can gather in our grief, and women can show up and be vulnerable. Like yesterday, most of the women on the call are really in it right now.
Yeah.
Really. There was like one woman who wasn't, literally, and I'm like, okay, this is why we have these communities. This is why we meet regularly. I've met weekly with women since fall of 2016. This is
That's
10,
that's amazing.
this is
Yeah.
10 years. Like it's supposed to be fall of 2025. This is why I meet with women regularly. It's not all highs, it's not all cute, and there's no pretense in our school. You come as
Yeah.
you are, and we see you, we feel you. We don't try to fix you. Nope. No one's trying to fix anyone. We can offer advice and we can like be there for each other. Like there's suggestions, but no one's trying to fix anyone, which is lovely. So yeah,
Which is
I'm just gonna
really healing and beautiful. I think that one thing, so first of all, I'm really sorry. And just, yeah, just I think a lot of love to everything around what's happening to a lot of us on this planet. Because I think if people are listening, we are all going at some we are all energetically and astrologically. I'll just share a little bit why can it feel like that for a lot of us, because a lot of planets are either in the last degrees or in the first degree. So we are shifting into a new frequency. So a lot of the things need to be either resolved, or they like we spoke before the call, like the ego parts that we can't carry forward into the new reality that we are creating or collectively ascending to, or however you want to see it or interpret it, whatever makes sense to you or the listener. There are parts that we need to either face, either release, either repattern in order. So while you were speaking, actually, when you said like the dangling, I saw it very differently. Like clearly when you spoke the second time now, because we spoke before we came on. Like I think sometimes universe shows us this is all possible.
yeah,
There's something we have to work on. And
yeah.
it doesn't mean like also and talking about community and accepting our humanness and not always speaking from like is the best thing we can do, and being the pain and being the grief, that's how we can move through it. Sometimes when we like pack it somewhere or park it somewhere and don't deal with it, that's why it comes back. I'm not saying that's happening to you, it's happening to a lot of us.
It is. It is.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yep.
So this even like I know I'm saying it simplistically as a concept, but that's how I even in my life, like I want to make sense. Like yes, I am dealing with something and I am allowing. So the one thing I am allowing is to not, and you mentioned this, and I love this for the beautiful communities you are leading and creating and for many years now, where there is being together is the most healing thing. And and the other part is being with yourself when so there's different parts and different things we can share, and sometimes we have to be with ourselves when that darkness, the fear comes up. Why don't we just not try to fix it, sometimes being with it? And I've noticed how much more comfortable, for example, I start to, how much I can, how faster it releases when I don't try to fix it, is the opposite. And a lot of people, before I was connected with a lot of people who just trying to fix me. Something's wrong. You're too much. You're too sensitive. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not. I am incredibly sensitive. That's my gift. That's
Yeah.
how I'm able to, I do feel and experience everything more intensely. And it doesn't mean something's wrong with me. So I have moved away energetically from a lot of things in my life. And that's where like, the planet astrologically, Neptune and Saturn entered the 0 point of new reality, new paradigm this year. Now Saturn has went back to Pisces to
Yeah.
we are re seeing, is there any lessons? So it does align that we
Yeah.
are now seeing a bit of darkness, a bit of, they don't see darkness. You can call it, there's darkness, it feels overwhelming, it feels like a wave of fear or pain or grief, all of those emotions. And the other thing is beautiful that I read the other day somewhere. What if the shadow work? This is shadow work. This is when we sit with emotions, we're collectively intimately with ourselves, where we sit with a shadow. What if the shadow work is the biggest romance? What if what if what we are hiding and running away? Some people run from our shadow is the only, the parts that we have just like suppressed in order to survive since we were children. So it's not parts that need to be fixed or judged, which happens like as a projection from others or also from us, like, and then we take it on and judge ourselves and shame has been a big part of my, like, the healing, in my healing from my whole life, because it was present in my family lineage for different reasons,
Mm.
and some reasons I don't even know. um yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
love
it. So
yeah,
there is a, so and we are, and the biggest thing, we have ended the eclipse season for the first 6 months of the year. We are entering another. So
yeah,
September is a huge month.
yeah.
There is, so let's talk about eclipses, because eclipses can quickly eclipse out things of our lives and eclipse in. So the, and with the Pisces, and also I will explain kind of like they are layered eclipses, and I explained why. So let's talk about a little bit about eclipses.
Please.
So on September 7th, so this weekend, we have a total lunar eclipse in Pisces. Bless you. Um, so two things, and then we have the second is solar eclipse in Virgo. So they're always connected with the moon's nodes. And lunar eclipse is usually always about ending, but because it's a north node eclipse, it's also about the future destiny, and it's very fated. So both eclipses hold both energies. It's about clearing out and aligning with destiny. And especially the Pisces eclipse, I feel there is a miracle energy. So if we stay open, and yes, there's a one part that will, a lot of humanity will feel it. Most of the people will feel it. There's this purging almost, and like, because light is activating a lot of darkness, so we will feel it in ourselves, in the bigger kind of collective, arena. Uh, but there's also so much hope. And when I spend a lot of time in silence, because it's just my period of time, or maybe I'm starting to realize I am meant to be like that. I am I get sometimes a bit lonely, because I think this period of my life I'm very kind of led to communion with the spirits in some way in order to learn about myself. I feel like I'm being just taught, and I can't have a lot of people around me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? I want to live my life sometimes. Like, no, you are learning, be with yourself. And I'm like, okay, I'm not against it. I am very much a loner. Where I was going with this, I also have ADHD and a little bit a spectrum of autism, so I will lose my track. And I'm learning all these things about me, and I'm like, okay, I get this. Like, I'm falling in love with a lot of parts of myself. A little bit of a tangent. Anyways, back to eclipses. So if you have So the Pisces lunar eclipse on this weekend will happen in 15 degrees of Pisces. So anyone who has Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces energy, you'll feel this.
Mm.
Um, it also has the trine aspect to Jupiter, which is a really beautiful energy, nurturing energy. So there is Pisces North Node collectively over the time of 19 months, 18 months, we are in the midst of it. We are learning to trust, and we talked about this in the beginning. It's a lot of this time is about trust, surrender, uh, trusting in the unseen, not knowing what will happen when, and the South Node eclipse that will be the Virgo in at 29 degrees. Again, 29 degrees. If we look at astrology, a lot of the things are first degree, 0 degree, 29 degrees. So how I see it, this is a really paradigm change. We are shifting paradigms big time. So it can feel like when I told you, like, can feel like a combustion of the ego completely. A lot of ego deaths are happening. If we are aware of it, I think it makes it a bit easier. And that's where also the surrender and trust comes in. How much do we trust divine? How much are we connected? Because I think we are disconnected a lot. We are scrolling, we are doing whatever,
Yeah.
but we are not being with ourselves, with soul, with God, with the spirit. And I think universe and our planet Earth and everything around us is teaching us through a bit of pain, maybe, and struggle. Come back to yourself. and trust. And sometimes it will be through struggle and pain, and sometimes it won't. Sometimes I think the more we move into the frequency and kind of release the parts of us that are still connected to like mental prisons, a lot of that is restructuring, I think, as well. Um, the more we will grow through joy and collaboration and community and wealth and all of those things. That's what I feel as well. So I feel both. Sometimes sometimes we can have a roller coaster in the same day where it's like, oh my God, why this trigger? I've dealt with this like for 10 years. And then there is this moment of peace. But okay, I can let it go. I can cry. I can let it go.
You know what I was thinking yesterday?
Mm.
Post I want to write as I was going to bed. I'm like, I want to write a post about, I'm like, you know what my spiritual practice is these days? Being
Mm.
human.
Yes.
You know, like I'm not into the go off the planet and all this cosmic shit. It's
Not
like
really.
to have your 2 feet firmly planted on the ground here and to feel it all is
Yeah.
brutal and beautiful all in the same thing. And that's what we're here for. Like, this is my spirituality practice, being human and being the vulnerable human right now. Right?
I think it's the most courageous thing we can do. It's easy to disconnect and disassociate, and a lot of people do that when they have the spiritual connection. But to bypass humanity is to lose all point why you incarnated. Why? Like there is so much joy and so much sadness and so much grief and so much pain, all of it, the whole spectrum of human emotion. I think that's like what you said is the one prime reason we come here. Learn how to be fully human while also being, obviously we want to be connected to spirit, but we don't want to lose, like we don't want to be in out here like in
It's to
the
embody spirit. It's like
yes,
embodying our spirit, which means we need to be in the body. And
yes,
and then we need to
fully.
make room in the body.
Say again,
And
sorry.
then we need to make room in the body,
Yeah,
right? And then accept the light in. That's one hell of a process.
yeah.
To embody light, right?
Mm-hmm.
And turn into that. Like when I think of spirituality in these later, like latest years, I think of like, how can I bring in my spirit another percent at a time? Like 1%, not 20, not 50, right?
Yeah.
1% of the time. How can I embody that a little bit more today or whenever when I think about it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's the ascension process, actually. It's not out of us, it's in us.
It's very much in us. Like I've realized it also over the last few years while I've had this kind of hermit time, and it feels like a teaching time, which has been a, really interesting. Um, to be like to really feel everything, because I used to, when I went through a lot of trauma. It's just a fact. I went through a lot of survival for a lot of years, a lot of drugs, just abandoning myself. A lot of this, a lot of people go through this.
Mhm.
These are just facts that happen to me. And I am able, like now, over the past few years, like I'm meeting all these parts of myself and integrating, and it feels like, I don't know. It feels like I'm coming back to me, but being fully present in my body. And it's not an easy process. It will depend on you as a human, like your readiness, your consciousness level, like how. But I think, and while you were speaking about, like something came to me, like the darkest moments I've been through, the biggest pain, the grief, has broken my heart more open. And that's where the light comes in. Like, yes, that's the Rumi quote, but it's true. It has made me more softer, more compassionate, more able to hold, to mother in a highest sense, not in a needy sense. It has broken me open in a way that I can hold more, not pain, not all of that, more light.
Yeah,
So
1000%.
sometimes pain and and darkness and going and facing things and trusting and surrendering, that's how we get there to the light.
Yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
I see that. Like I was writing about this a few years ago with all of like everything that's happening globally, and I don't want to get into specifics with wars and this and that and blah 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 blah. But it's like I've been calling it the sacred witness, and it's allowing your heart to be broken over and over and over again, but you putting it back together. Like you healing it back together with it's the feeling, the people who can sit in the on this planet and feel deeply
Yes.
what they're seeing, whatever their thing is that has their attention, right? Like whatever, because there's too many things for us on the planet to all be focused on one thing, right? Everyone's called, I feel like, to different things,
Yeah.
but to like witness it, to be the sacred witness, to witness it
Yeah.
in all its reality, right?
Yeah.
And not take on what it is, but to literally heal
Yes.
that and to hold that for others. Like that's power. That's powerful.
Exactly. And a lot of us have that in our blueprint. Like we were sent with that. Like I've done that since I was a little girl, and I didn't know that. So, which what is interesting because I was very outspoken when I was little. That I realized also that I made myself very small over the last before the last because of like I needed to survive. Like the world was so it felt I don't know why it just comes to mind. It was like I went through a little bit of a roller coaster in alchemy and just being yesterday. What I wanted to say, when I was little, I thought all people are like that. All of us had come to heal each other and help each other. And then I was growing up and I'm like, no, no one almost around me. And I was like, so, and I would go and ask, like, who did you look up to? I was looking for like guides. And it's like, I was
Wow.
like, can you give me a book? Like, I understand in my family if no one can understand me or maybe, and I asked, was there someone you looked up to? Because I was like, oh, I was actively searching. So I read the Bible. That didn't feel like that's like fully. So since like, so that space where you're saying, and I always have felt overwhelmed because I was so my from my personal experience, and some of the people that will be drawn will might relate and feel very alone in this because most of my life I did, and I still now I do this work constantly because it's not it's like an embedded in me. It's like I like eat breakfast, I drink tea, I go for a walk, I go to bathroom, and I pray and I heal and I think and I cry and I hold space for healing for the planet. And a lot of us do that, but I think there is time on this planet now where a lot of people are waking up to this or not kind of suppressing this ability and understanding that it's sacred, that we're working with spirit, with divine. And it takes a lot of courage to really fully be this person that you're meant to. But I think we are in time where there is like the sensation of like holding yourself back is now almost unbearable.
Mm.
It's, you know what, like I think it's the Aries energy when Neptune and Saturn cross the 0 point. It's like I can't be anything else that I am. That's why there's a lot of awakening. Yes, there's a lot of destruction, but in order, it's just it's the light and darkness warfare. That's that's what we're experiencing right now.
I feel like
So that's from a spiritual standpoint, but that also not taking away that I'm very human. I am very human. I have my flaws. I'm not perfect. I made so many mistakes. I made more mistakes that I feel sometimes that any other person I know. But I think it's my there was always a lesson in each, and some I will process for the rest of my life. But there's a gift in each, and that's what I need to learn.
Mm. Remember at the beginning of the year when we were looking at the astrology for the year
Yes.
and we're just like, what a year we have coming. And I feel like all the astrologers were saying this, like
Mhm.
2025 ain't messing around.
And I think September is going to be like that. By the end of September, we're going to be like, what a year. So,
Oh God.
nothing, like,
Oh my God.
but I think there is like, if we ride the waves, which this is like, if we ride the waves of, yes, there's challenges, yes, but if we do, and we trust and surrender, and yes, this is kind of like a cliche kind of word. Like I do repeat, I think we do repeat this every time I speak ever about anything.
Yeah.
It's like learn that, like learn intimately what it means to do that, and you will understand life. You will understand life so much more when you understand what it means as a human to surrender and trust. Life
Let
becomes a whole different playground.
Yeah, let's go into that. Let's both explain what we feel like surrender and trust means, because I wrote that down as one of our words that we need to talk about today. Because like in this, I'm
Yeah.
just these are situations where like you feel like you could surrender, then you surrender a little bit more, then you surrender a little bit more, and I'm at the point where I just throw my hands. I'm like, all right, like I am not steering this fucking ship. Oh, okay. What will you
Yes.
have of me? What is next? I believe in a greater force. I know there is something bigger than me at play here. Okay, you've got my attention. I can't control this. I can't manipulate this. I can't plan for this. I'm here. I am present.
That's what the ultimate surrender is, and that's where magic happens often.
Yeah.
Because let's say if we think we know, okay, let's talk about it. We think we know how our life's supposed to be. No, we might have an idea,
Yeah.
but our soul is the guide. So
Yeah.
often we have beliefs and conditioning. A lot of it is very deeply embedded and it comes from our lineages. And that's something that spirit, when it puts you in, it puts us in a more, it's like a compression where it needs, like compresses the diamond. It presses, and then, like you said, I surrender. I don't know. Sometimes it goes to the point, I don't know who I am. I don't know what my life is about.
Yeah.
That is the magical point.
Yeah.
And some people think that is rock bottom. A rock bottom can be the most magical point of your life if
Yeah.
you let it be. And I have experienced that the moment of like I remember one specific one, which was a few years ago. It was one of the probably the darkest moment of my life. And I will not go into details, but I am starting to speak out like notes and chapters of my life, which
Wow.
has been really healing. And there was this quiet wave of just like, and that felt like surrender. That felt like that, and that felt like power and surrender at the same time because I didn't know what I would do in that moment, and everything was in like destruction. It was literally around me. I was in a space in a home that everything was destroyed, and I was cleaning up. And I
Wow.
was just like, and I was like, and I leaned down to just clean up one space of that court, like because it was like in life sometimes my life was all like that in shambles, and there was like my home was as well, and I was like, where do I start? It's like, okay, let's start in one little space. And it was like a what's the word, analogy of my life as well. But there was this moment of complete surrender and peace that came that has never left me. So, and then I said, I will. So, and then I told myself, okay, I'm remembering this. I needed to remember. Maybe this podcast is so I didn't remember this. I said, I will learn from this moment. Spirit, God, universe, creator, I will learn everything. Give me. I know this is my biggest moment to learn so far, my biggest rock bottom, the most magical I can make it. I will learn every single day. Give it to me. Because
Yeah.
I have nothing now. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I've lost almost everything. Don't know how to rebuild. You have me, I
Yeah.
will, and that's how I have lived through it. That's how I have my interpretation of it so far. That was the most poignant. On everyday level, it can feel like I'm very triggered by grief, pain, or things like that. And then I say, I don't know, I give up. I give up. I mean, and it's a very visceral feeling in the body. It's like, I give up. I don't know what, like, my life doesn't matter. Like, and we as humans, like, if we let ourselves go there, not in a way of like harming ourselves, but if we let ourselves go there in a mind and energetic body, I give up. We release a lot of the control. Control comes from fear. Strategy and discipline and devotion is different than control and fear, and sometimes they kind of intertwine. So that's my interpretation
Beautiful.
and story.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another topic I wanted to bring up that I wrote down here is for people, anyone in this, is to pay attention to pattern recognition. If you were,
Yeah.
because when you can start to see the patterns, it helps you understand that we are in a spiral. We are not in a linear timeline. We're in a spiral. And that means you will come back up around against certain things, not just one thing, but a few different things. And when you realize you're coming back up around it, I think it's actually helpful to know the pattern recognition. It's helpful,
Incredibly.
right? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like I've been here before. Here we are again. And what helps me with the pattern recognition, especially where I am now, is to go back and say, but I've changed. We've changed our behaviors.
Yeah.
We are responding to this differently. We're
Mm-hmm.
working together in this. So it's like me and my husband in this. So he's in this healing with me, right? It's like we are very different than who we were 6 years ago, 13 years ago. Very different. We are
Yeah.
reacting very differently. We are at a more healed space. We are at a more grounded space. We are more steady in our central nervous systems. We hold bigger energy now.
Yeah.
And it's been nice to not be playing out behaviors from 6 years ago and 13 years ago because we have changed. So it's almost like these patterns that we come up against, it's actually highlighting how much growth we've had,
And that's a beautiful awareness.
right? And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so we're at a different place. We're different people, even though we're the same person, but we have grown and we have
Yeah.
evolved. And we're gonna fix this, or we're gonna change this, or we're gonna resolve this, or whatever it is, right? Whatever
Yeah.
it is for anyone. We're different. And even I was like joking with my babysitter before we came in because she's a spiritual teacher too. And I was like, one of us can be in the shit of it, and the other is really good at being the rock. Whereas years ago, we both would be in the shit
Beautiful.
of it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
one of us can really like just let the other person like be in it, man, and not make it about them and not join the party and then we flop. You know what I mean? So it's like or
I love
like
that.
yeah, so it's a very like shared experience where we're able to hold each other and it's not even just hold each other physically in that sense, but hold the vision and hold that like trust, that faith.
Mm-hmm.
One of us can really hold the faith when the other cannot.
I
And
think that's so
that's
beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's like you're a team.
yeah,
And
yeah.
how like blessing you are to have that. Like I think these times when we go through really, really dark times, we forget that some things we take for granted that most people maybe don't even have, not even close to. Like we forget what we have. I think it pushes us back to the bare. What do I have? Like, okay, and how, and then go, you're kind of stripped away by the pressure of the event or the challenge or the kind of the stress. You're kind of stripped away. You kind of like, okay, I'm a little bit raw, naked, I've given up. And
Yeah.
then you become different. You can choose to become someone stronger, someone more raw, someone more embodied. And who do you need to become to face those challenges, and who do you need to embody? That's the universe out. That's what the universe and spirit is
Yep.
wanting to hold space. So that's why it strips away stuff, and it will feel sometimes horrible. Yes, the
Yeah.
human part or human, and then like what you said about being with yourself and being with that, and then also having, I think for me, I often think about like a connection and relationship, and I don't have that yet, and I don't know what my destiny holds. But that's a really big blessing for you to both to be like that with each other. So
Yeah.
finding also these parts, like, okay, this is good. Like this, I'm grateful for
Right.
this, and grateful for this, and
Yeah.
then build on that. And
Yeah.
then you let go of the like the ice and like the blood that you said and that terror. You're like, and also the other thing, like let's say terror, fear, shame, what they are protecting me from, and this can be a very deep kind of self-reflective, like because they are usually protectors. They want to protect something, and sometimes we just need to let them through. Like, what are you teaching me? It will be overwhelming sometimes if it's a really big contraction. But basically, it's just a channel you need to go through to strip away what you're not carrying in the next version that wants, like in your case, like those specific things. Because universe are like, it's not, yeah, it's the opposite. I think it's like universe is saying, this is all yours. Just we need to adjust so that you can hold all of it.
Yeah. Another theme that goes perfectly after what you just said. that was
Mm.
coming for me in this is going, I know in my bones that everything we're experiencing right now is here for us to step into a deeper path of leadership.
Yeah.
And I think what I've shared, what you've shared, and what a lot of people on the planet are experiencing right now is an opening of the path to leadership. A
Mm.
lot of new people, and no, I don't mean like new babies, I mean like people who maybe didn't see it coming that they would be a leader in X, Y, and Z will be asked to stand up, will be
Yeah.
asked to walk forward. And I
Yeah.
think that path actually leads to sovereignty. If we have more people in leadership positions, that will ripple. And I'm not talking old school leadership. I'm not talking old school leadership. The king in charge of everyone, you know, the president in charge of everyone. Like I don't mean that. I mean on a way deeper and more accessible level. I think we're going to have within the awakening
More
process,
authentic level as well.
authentic
Kind of
level, right? Like
authentic, sovereign.
in
Yeah.
this like ascension process, like a lot of people are going to be stepping up into leadership, and we need it. We're done with the age of being ruled by one person. That shit's over, man. We're watching it die. And we're heading,
Yeah.
right? We're heading to a place where people can be in charge of thyself, right?
And that's exactly that leadership. Like we were like, not us specifically. I think we kind of came into this life with that. But often, a lot of people are like looking for someone else to guide. No, like someone else to tell them what to do, where to go, how to live their life. And
Exactly.
that's why everything is falling apart
Right.
because our like so-called leaders have created systems that are rotten to the bone, and those are falling apart. So the
Exactly.
Pluto in Aquarius are like stripping away all of that so that Pluto is power to the people. So we are rising, and along with the 0 point of Neptune and Saturn in Aries, new kind of sovereign human beings are being born, but also we are embodying that energy more and more. And there's no going back. There's no, oh, I'm gonna skip this lifetime. Yes, some of them people will be, but like the life, I cannot imagine what kind of life it is where you are just thinking you are this flesh and you're following someone in the program in a TV screen, what they are saying. That has become such an absurd idea, I think, for many of
Yeah.
us on this planet. It's like, what?
Totally.
But understanding, no judgment for like when we speak about these things, there's like, oh, there's no, we are better than this, you are. No, there's just I always say facts. Like speaking about my experience and what I've been through, like that's not me. I always just facts. Like I'm just looking at life
Yeah.
and reality. And a lot of people are being done, and it's coming from a soul level. Like this fire is burning up. It's like no more, no more slavery, like the modern day slavery, no more. Like that leadership is fire is rising and will rise, and the new babies and new children coming in, oh, they are coming into a really interesting time. That's how, like, I'm not going to expand on that because some of the things are tragic, but there's also so much new coming, so much power, so much light coming through. And yes, we are going through two kind of timelines kind of intertwining, and we will be figuring out this for the next decades really. But the
Yeah.
change is here, the new paradigm is also here, so we are have a choice. A lot of the we have choice, and that's people are, I think, when you talk about sovereignty and leadership, becoming the leader of yourself first. Come on, we cannot just give away all of our power like a lot of people used to do, and still have some do at this point, but like no, no, just no.
And it's everywhere. This isn't just like uh leadership roles in your community or like in work. Like this is everywhere. This is deep.
This is like, see, like it seeps through the planet. The leaders, like the fire that's burning up, and like Mother Earth is create like, and the planet, everything around us is creating this, like the Earth itself is ascending. So it's not like, oh, it's happening in New York City. It's happening
Right.
on the planet. I'm joking. That was like the ascension is happening in this state, or only in
Yeah.
Europe.
Right.
Imagine. No, I'm just joking. Sometimes I need to laugh when things get really rough.
Yeah.
uh, but there, so the September will bring a lot of kind of like, so going back a bit of astrology, so eclipses bring, we are already in the energy of eclipses, and the more we aligned and let go and align, like a lot of the things that I feel as well, a lot of bigger dreams, visions, what's possible is becoming really present around us. So the more we can let go and create space, so however it looks for, it can look physical because of the Virgo season and the Mercury entering in Virgo, which by the way, Mercury in Virgo is perfect. Like it's at home, it's very clear. So for this eclipse season, Mercury being in Virgo, we will be super clear, like what's going, what needs to go. We just will need to, the messages will be clear. The Mercury will go everywhere and deliver, like we will be get the message. It's how you react. You don't hide under the rock, you come out and deal with things. That's how you ride the waves in eclipse season. Look at yourself, deal with things, speak with the shadows, face the fears, sit and cry, sit and be human, whatever you need to do. um and that's how you eclipse it out, like eclipses eclipse out whatever has to go. And yes, we can grieve it, but it also, the more you let go of what you no longer need, a cliche thing again, but the more you will create space, the new things will come, miracles can come. Yes, for some people, miracles is an actual new paradigm thing. Miracles can happen everywhere, all around, little ones. When you start notice it, I have noticed it, it's really beautiful when I tune into that of my everyday life. I'm like, okay, I can live with this. I can live. And the other part, like a really practical part of this, I've noticed how a lot of people, I've noticed this too, how little, when these kind of energetic intensity happens, how little I want to often interact with the people unless they are someone like you that gets the energy of where I am. I will be like, no, I'm good. I'm good in my world. I am doing my work. I'm still doing sessions. I'm still writing. That's my contribution, and that's how I serve the world. I love to do that, and I will continue to grow in doing that. But to fight the battles, like even in a conversation, I'm like, no, not today, not today. No, it's a lot of no. No has become a full answer. That's also sovereignty and boundary stuff. Saturn moving back into Pisces, we just like reestablishing more boundaries. It's been a glorious process. Boundaries is are great. A no is a full sentence. That's
That was a
what
big,
I learned.
that was a big topic on our mastermind call yesterday, boundaries too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like how, boundaries are fluid too. And I mean, like,
Yeah.
obviously boundaries are hard, but then you grow. So then your boundaries need to grow too. Like,
Yes.
like it's not like a one and done with a boundary. I think you continue
No.
to grow and you go, oh, look at this over here. Oh, how
Yeah.
did this happen? Shit. Like, wow, I've grown. Okay, I've outgrown that boundary. Time to set up
Mhm.
a new one. Um,
Yes.
and my teacher gives this great analogy for boundaries because I think a lot of people think like stone wall, like I'm putting up a boundary, I'm putting up a stone wall. No, she said
Mhm.
it's like the magnetic nets that you put,
Yeah.
the magnetic net, a screen door
Hmm.
to your house is what a boundary is.
Yeah.
You're not blocking an energy flow between the inside and the outside, but you're not letting the bugs in. You're not letting
Exactly.
the dirt and the leaves in.
Yes.
It's
And if,
porous.
yes,
You
it
can
is, but it only lets what's aligned. That's beautiful.
Ah,
I love
right? Isn't
that.
that a good
Love that.
visual?
That is really beautiful because it's, I have learned, because have so much Libra energy. I've been a people pleaser, and with growing up with no self-worth worth or value, I didn't know what boundaries was. And a lot of like people, like we do grow up with like with this heart very open, very porous energy. So boundaries is like my biggest work. But recently, like the recent 2 months, let's say, like the way I've put boundaries, just as a like I'm doing it like so quick, and it does sometimes trigger me, but like the way I've shifted, sometimes every day I'm like, oh my God, this is daily. So
Right.
I was like, I'm tired. I'm tired of the bound. But now the space that I am and the practice, it's like I am so proud of me.
Mm.
And it's just like, it's just you be in there, like the human being who is listening and who thinks like, how do I do it? You know what you know your worth. And then when something comes, and it will like when you become, I connected to falling in love with yourself. And what I say that it's like you start to really value yourself. And that's what I call my process. I am falling in love with who I am, because my whole life I almost grew up. I learned to hate myself for who I am, like everything about me, because I learned that, because that's what I heard.
Mm.
And this process of falling in love with who I am, not falling in love with me, like, but falling in love with who I am, like the depth and all of it, like all the aspects of me. And then the boundaries come very strong. And literally every day was a test. And then saw myself like shifting daily. Like, and that's what happened to a lot of people when we are very present, we shift super quick. And that's what can happen in eclipses. And you can shift out of the old version of you. And like, let's say dreams and vision or whatever you're moving in can happen that quick if you're ready to move out of that old shell that is literally really wanting you to be, okay, now we can, with love, let you like transmute back, or however you do the process.
Mm.
Let parts of yourself die, because who you truly are never, we are only becoming, we are not fixing, we are only becoming step by step. And the more courageous we are, the more brave we are, the more beautiful the process. Scary and exciting, but also beautiful.
You brought up a good point with the practices too. I feel like this would be a nice way to wrap it up is like,
Yeah.
okay, so we've given some great advice to anyone who's in it right now, but to end that off with like the practices that we do that keep us grounded, keep us in our body, keep us sane, keep us whatever when we're in this, like thank God I'm in a place now where I'm like 5 months into working out regularly and I'm like weightlifting a lot. That has been very helpful during this process. I have
Yes.
stopped working out. I also will at least walk a mile a day, whether it's with my kids on a wagon walk or the dog or myself. Like, so I'm walking. I'm big on supplements and minerals and vitamins and making sure I'm good. I'm eating well. I fast too. I do intermittent fasting for like 2 weeks now. I'm back on 16 hours of fasting, 8 hours of eating. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm
Same.
getting you too. Ooh,
I
yeah,
do it naturally for years.
me too. So when I switched over, I heard about it and switched over. I was like, I've been kind of doing this, but
Yeah,
now
I already do that. Yeah.
but I stopped it when I was obviously pregnant, breastfeeding,
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
that's
But now I'm
normal.
back. Now I'm back on it. And I'm like, I forgot how good this feels to give my body a break of
And to take
process.
care of your body,
What?
take care of it.
Care
It's
of your,
just like take care of it. That's
you know,
taking care of the body. Yeah.
and getting out in the sun and being outside in nature. And I'm fantasy book reading still, like fantasy fiction, baby, just giving my brain an outlet to check out and go to a different world. So like these practices. Um, Also, and I do want to say, like, even I'll add to I have one of my clients was like, we need to do some archangel work on you. And I'm like, oh, fuck, that's right. I'm not calling in the archangels during this right now. Like, thank you. And then I went and did some Akash work because I was trained by Kelly in the Akashic Records, Miss Kelly, who came and visited you. Wow, how
Yes, she did.
jealous I was to see that. I was like, oh my
You're
God,
coming. I can
I'm
feel you
coming.
coming. When I
Thank
think
you.
about my new place, which I'm like, it's coming, it's you're coming.
Yes.
With
Oh
the
my,
whole team or however you want to come,
yeah.
you're
Yeah.
coming.
So I did some Akash work just myself, just like laying
Yeah.
down, went there and I found a lifetime that I was in where I was an indentured servant back in Egypt. And I was around riches and I was in a very nice white and embroidered thing, but I was never going to get out of that indentured servant phase of my life. My children were fine and they weren't going to have to do it. And I could see like 5 children. They would be fine, but I had to, for some reason, spend like I was paying off something, you know?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I was like, fuck, this is that feeling. Like, will this ever end? Why won't this go away? How are we stuck here? We don't want this to pass down to our children. I'm like, this is fucking spooky, man. So I saw myself as this like male indentured servant, like probably to a pharaoh or a king or a leader or a wealthy family where like I wasn't a slave, but I wasn't free. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I
I
don't.
know what I have a parallel type of like energetic past life karmic thread. So I understand what you mean.
So in that with practices, when we're talking about like these are the tools and practices I can do right now to one, stay in my body, and two, maybe understand this on a wider, more quantum level.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Like,
it can be really helpful. I completely agree with both of those. One thing which is incredibly important, taking care of our human bodies, our human brains, because they are literally energetic living beings, and we can't just like. And the one thing also with my clients I've noticed, and with myself when I was younger, until I learned to love my body when it's actually showing me something. When our body is signaling like pain or something, we are conditioned to what something's wrong. We have to fix it, so we attack it
mhm,
or worse, but it's like loving our body to health. Like our bodies know how to heal. We have to create an environment, like, so this can be for different kind of things, but on an everyday life, like the same thing, going out, being grounded, like being like, when I go out, I see it as a communion with Mother Earth. Like
yeah,
it's that beautiful and special. I also call in angels. Like I have started to do it more because I need it more. I think at this time we need it more because the energy can shift so suddenly. Um, Also vitamin supplements. By the way, I'm in the middle of my cleanse, which
yeah.
I do oregano oil, black seed, cumin oil. So I'm redoing my gut flora balance, so clearing everything
Heat,
that's not working. So it's Virgo season. It's super perfect. Virgo is detox, and
yeah,
also the south node, like we will have solar south node eclipse. So heal it out. And when physically another, like when you start to do, and I've done some before, when you start to do a cleanse with these supplements, I feel how all the, let's say, shame, fear start, like it all comes up. So I'm working on different levels. And yes, I want to do this for the eclipse season. So that's how you work with the energy. And this doesn't mean only spiritual practice. This is very, very real. You go for, like, you move the body. I exercise every day, not heavily, but just to be in the body. I also really enjoy it for my mental health is
yeah,
good because I have anxiety. I've had depression on and off all my life. So because neurodivergent sensitive people will have that kind of in a background, so we need to be very conscious. So I do that, like just to be in the body. So those are all very spiritual practices.
absolutely.
Taking taking care of food, going to the way you sleep, the way you wake up, the way you talk to yourself. Little things become really, really big things. That's a Virgo thing. The sacred devotion to every rituals, to making routine a ritual.
And when you agree on that topic, those that practiced in temples, they had to do all this physical work. Those that went as devotees, spiritual devotees, as children, as like the seekers of spiritual knowledge, they had to do hard, heavy work. Whether
Yeah,
that was working out, carrying stuff up and down hills, working in the kitchens, cleaning up stuff, and but like they in spiritual settings, they never discounted the physical realm and the physical work to this. And
I
I think
love that.
we need to be reminded of that more in
I
this world. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I think I find so much. It's like cleaning for me is like a prayer. When I'm very stressed, I clean. I love cleaning so much.
Yeah.
I like to exercise. I like to get things done. I like to build things. I like to cook. I like all the kind of ritual things. I think they are so sacred for us as human beings.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't. I kind of see it as a really I like I can let my mind relax as well. So I see it as a therapy or a prayer
Mm.
almost. Because my brain like sometimes I need to do it also. For those of us and also sensitive people and to are more connected to different realms will have a different makeup of nervous system or even brains, right? The neurodivergence will often show up in a people like, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a label. It's just the world is different. It's not like straightforward. It's we're gonna have things that we need to work, and it's not like working around things like something is wrong or fixing. I see it as a really beautiful element in all of the things that who I am now that I've started to learn about and understand. So my rituals and everyday things and spiritual practices are also kind of created around how can I feel the best? How can I love myself? Where is the softness and then where is the work? Where is the rest? Where is the balance? All of it matters. All of it is very kind of just beautiful balance as well. Okay.
Well, this was a
I,
very nice flow and grounded call today.
it was. I think we all of us needed this today.
Magic.
Thank you.
Our earth magic
This is our Earth magic.
will
By the way, I love Virgo season. Also, another just a side note quickly. The summer is over and like the September comes and I can breathe again. The summer is never easy for me. It's so heavy psychologically, emotionally. I've seen people who are similar and it's a thing. It's a big thing. It's not like it's something against. It's just I struggle in summer and when the autumn comes, I can breathe again. I come alive. And I'm like, yes, finally. So that's for someone who will listen to this
That's for
is like, oh,
Capricorns.
no. That's
Those
for some, yeah,
Capricorns,
maybe
Geminis
fall
are like,
winter
nope.
babies, fall babies will be like, yeah, they maybe that's me.
Yeah. How can people find you right now? What have you got going on? What can they reach out to you for?
I actually so I have quite a lot of offerings. So you can find me on my website, which will be in show notes. The same. It's like it's no point saying my name because it's not easy to remember. So it will be in show notes. You can. I do private sessions. I do mentorship, like monthly one, and also a lot of people signed up recently for. I do monthly report, like kind of like there's astrology, there is sun sign reading, there is a channeled message. So it's a whole guide for your month, personalized from your chart, very personal with guidance. So we can use it. It's divine connected to astrology with practical guidance. So I'm really joined. I have really enjoyed doing those for those who signed up. So there's still time, or you can sign up and start in October. But that's like if you don't want to do a private session, that's a nice way to have that guidance with you.
What's that called?
Monthly Astro Oracle
Oh,
reports.
cool, 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 cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they
I
get
will give you the link. You can do like my website and then that link
sure,
under.
sure.
Yeah. What about you?
I am, I had a whole launch for a whole new thing aligned, and I've had to push it off. And that's another behavior pattern. I'm like, instead of just plowing through it and being like, we're sticking to schedule, I've got to run a webinar, design a sales page. I was like, no, you know what I'm focusing on? Fall enrollment for Daydream. And instead of pushing this launch that I do not feel 100% right now, so why would I do that to myself? I'm just really relaxing and releasing, and I'm sharing with my community what I'm going through right now and how
Yeah.
showing up and using that to be like, and I'm so thankful I have Daydream. And this is why you need a community to roll with. If you're feeling this and doing this alone, that's really challenging. That's really lonely, right? So I'm
Yeah.
using where I'm at in storytelling to connect with people right now and have my fall equinox enrollment. So it feels like a soft launch because I launch every season to enroll people in where I like talk about
Yeah.
this and give myself a break and then come into the next season. And I'm like, this actually feels really nice in my body. I'm not trying to pretend I'm in any state that I'm not. I'm not trying to be hype girl for this new thing I'm coming out with. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just get to be me and be honest. And I've gotten a lot of feedback and a lot of comments and a lot of engagement on my posts. I'm like, just a reminder to anyone hearing this, LOL, if you're still listening to us. Um,
They're listening. I
Great
think the
people love these
people
calls though. They love it.
people that listen past like 20 first 10 minutes, they will listen.
Yeah, they do. I have like literally I get messages of people who just like love these episodes with us. Um, yeah, no, I'm letting myself share in story and be the human and be authentically me and where I am right now. And this is where I'm hearing a lot of people are fucking in it right now. And I think it's refreshing for them to see online, like, oh, that's like perfect Instagrammer. Is like, you know what I mean? Is like, actually, no, life is hard. And using that platform to share, like, really where I'm at has been really inspiring and like open up conversation with people.
Yes, and that's where I think authenticity and sovereignty and this embodied leadership includes being authentic. And people will relate more not to the polished version of someone or even a fake version. Because like if you're not fully honest, or not that everyone needs to be share everything, but if you're hiding something of your process, let's say differently, if you are honest about who you are and where you are, people will come to you more because they're like, that's a human being, I can learn from her. I value that so much more than someone being very polished.
Right. All right. Well, what a astro report we've got here.
Well, we cover a lot. We cover astrology, energy, human, being a human, being a spiritual human, a lot.
Well, thank you to
Thank
all
you
of
so
our
much.
listeners. Good good luck and peace be with you. Let the
Good
good
luck and good
Lord
night.
guide you through the next month. We will come back in October and hopefully digest and digress. I don't know what I'm saying and go through what
Yeah.
well, and we'll see what October's bringing us, everyone.
And I will put out a question for people who are listening. If you would like to have a version where we will do this every month, but if you like after to come with us to on a private Zoom call to share stories and kind of convene, and would anyone would be interested?
I love
Just
that.
asking. Let's see if anyone answers what they also share. What would you like to hear from us? And yeah, would you like to come and talk to us on Zoom after these episodes? Just to,
I
I
love
don't
that.
know for what reason. So let's see how people feel about it, and then see what happens. I think
That's great.
creating more and more communities
Yeah.
and coming together places, it's such a fun thing. We can find new our tribes, or like whatever needs to happen.
This is
Okay,
like a
thank you so
secret
much. I love you. Love you,
offer.
everyone.
There's like a
Hmm?
secret offer at the end of the episode.
Hmm?
We just you put out like a secret offer at the end of the episode. They have to get to the end of the episode to get
Yes.
the invitation.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, on one of the things on the Buzzsprout, you can literally hit like I think actually everywhere you can hit message show host. I think there's a link in my thing where you can literally hit message show host. So guys, just hit message and it will go directly to my Buzzsprout. I'll get a notification that you've written something to me and we'll see the note.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. This was great. Good luck with September. We're here for you. And we will be back next month with October's. All right. Thank you, Ineza, as
Love
always.
you.
Talk soon.
Bye.